That was wild. I started this live stream. I turned to do something else and I turned back and it said that it wasn't, that my live stream had been interrupted somehow and just stopped and I didn't know why. But I restarted and there seems not to be any real issue. You can see the homies back there. They're keeping me company during this cootie fest. Hey MJ, how's your spirit? So MJ, since you're here, what's the longest you've ever been down with a tummy issue? I'm gonna turn the overlay on here in just a second. And now chats should come up. We'll see what happens. But as I said, I am just really icky feeling, and y'all, I've been laying down and everything. I have drank the fluids, I've eaten the soups, I've had rice and bread and banana, and nothing is working. About at the point where I'm low on F's to give, you know what I'm saying? And then low on F's anyway. You know? It's like, why even get up and get too bothered by it? There's just not a whole lot that I can do. If my body wants to purge of everything, itself of everything that I put in there, then that's just what it's going to be. I don't want to go to the... MJ, I hate going to the doctor. I hate going to the doctor because they talk to you like you're such a fucking dingbat. Like you can't know what's going on with you. I don't take any of the drugs. I don't use any of the medications. Nothing. And yet, still, I get treated like I'm a drug-seeking addict when I say to you, I have fibromyalgia, I have this tummy pain, and I'm like, nah, bruh. Nah, cause today's one of those days where my pain level is so high that I will just smooth go off on a doctor. There ain't no chance. I went off on my son today, and I don't feel bad about it. You want to tell me how you feel and what you think. Ninja, I made, created, and did a whole lot more sacrificing than you ever have. What you're not going to do is tell me nothing sideways or crazy and think I'm not going to chin check you. But we're good. He understands. You had a mama long before you ever had one anyway. Some things are just wild to me. This one more than anything else right now. But like I said, I really just turned on this live in order to kind of soothe myself with some music and a bowl. And I figured, what the heck, if I feel this way, I might as well chat with some other folks. Because nothing's working. And I really just want to say this. Some of you people, you're sick, and I think it's possible that I'm being out in the space lately, having to go out so much is the reason that I'm sick, because I'm immunocompromised and really shouldn't be out anyway, quite the way that I am, yet that's just life, right? There's a host of people in the world who are immunocompromised, and for whatever reason, they just can't, they have to make adjustments. Everyone has to make an adjustment somewhere in life. Thank you to everybody who came in and hit the likes and did all that YouTube and stuff. Excuse me. But so, yeah, I really, and then too, I believe, like I said earlier, that my body is doing its best to begin to work properly after the nerve ablation. So, because it seems as though my body is trying to hold on to its temperature more regularly than it had before, but it just doesn't seem to be working that way. Sorry, y'all. I needed to get out of my towel and into my robe, which is a bit warmer. So, I am dealing. There are definitely people who care, who love me, and they're like, JP, you alright? Yes. No, I'm not okay, but there's really nothing that we can do about the fact that I ain't feeling okay. It's just what it is. Just trying to think if I got like a JP, this song will make you feel better when you're sick song, but I mean, there's always this one, but this doesn't make anybody feel better. It's annoying as fuck. But we've all heard it. I'm pretty sure.
Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If we say it loud enough, we'll always sound precocious.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Thank you, MJ. I will, all things pass, right? You just gotta. I didn't watch this remake either. I'm really kind of over the idea of remakes. Like, you're redoing my childhood and you're doing a bad job at it. I'm trying to think of a recent remake of something from my childhood or even my children's that was really as good or better, and I just haven't seen it. Um, None of them are like upgrades. They're just remakes. Add a song here, add a new character there, change three things, and he got a new thing. Nah, it's too obvious. Yeah. No, it beats the block. I've been on the phone cursing out my divorce attorney. That motherfucker is absolutely disappointing. Next year, yeah, I'm telling y'all, if on January 1st I'm not divorced, on January 2nd I'm going to tell you that motherfucker's name, and I'm going to tell you his attorney board information, and we all going to go and write and request to have his ass moved from motherfucking office. I will have you disbarred. You and your light-skinned homie. Y'all trash. She's absolutely lazy. Nothing professional about you at all. You really think that somebody is supposed to be like, ooh. Upgrade you. Upgrade you. Let me upgrade you. But what it did for the people, ran by the men, but the women keep the tempo. I agree. If there's nothing else, there's certainly music to make you feel better. You choose the right songs anyway. What's that other song? You need a real woman in your life. I remember when I realized that my husband and I were going to end up parting ways for sure. It was when I was contemplating that gastric bypass surgery, but more specifically, when he was like, "Yeah, I ain't going to counseling and I ain't gonna change." You have to understand, I wasn't asking him to change. I was asking him to prepare for the change that was going to occur within me, physically, mentally, emotionally. To murder your fat chick, and you've been this one thing for 30 years, that takes a lot. Shit. It's taken me 15 years to get comfortable with the idea that this is my body. That the woman who I was, who had fluffy body armor against the world and could bully the world with my size. Can't do that anymore. That was when I realized that I didn't have a partner. It would take years, but it is what it is. Nope, Marcus, I realized that you were going to be a part of my community for longer than I anticipated. How's your spirit? No, I'm feeling extra miserable, Marcus. Um, I'm trying to make things last, so to speak, because I can't get out, I can't do anything, and I don't know what's next anyway. So right now, I'm just like, let's just go live to ease myself, right? To keep myself from being like, yo, I'm gonna have to fuck somebody up. You ask God for that one break, and it just don't seem to come. You know. I wish I could tie you up in my shoes, make you feel unbreathable. Mm. I took a bath before I came onto this live stream, and you know how even when you use a moisturizer in the water, at the winter it just seems so harsh and dry. You have a really difficult time, like dealing with this part. Or that I need a little more oil, I suppose is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, you won't grow. You can fix your nose. Oh, and then I just cannot seem to find a comfortable temperature in here. But I have to keep something going, so. Being the feels so damn pretty. Make you feel unpretty too. This used to be one of my favorite TLC songs. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Marcus, the original question in the. Oh, oh, that was uncomfortable. And a little bit painful. Yeah, the pain will knock me out my body. Oh. What's the longest you've ever been down with a tummy issue, Marcus? But we're going to change the question to have you ever. Oh, I'm sorry. Apologies. What's your favorite TLC song? I'm a human time. So, what's your favorite TLC song? And who's your favorite member? I'm never leaving down, 'cause I might mess around. It's only 'cause I need some affection. Oh, so I creep, yeah. What is it? Chili. Whoops. Left Eye. T-Boz. Now I'm not bugging 'cause I feel. This is another favorite. Did Left Eye ever get a chance to put out like her own album? Does anyone remember? I remember images of her with the rise and stuff going on. I think she was there to produce a solo album, right? Yeah, she was working on a solo album and never got produced. You said No Scrubs? Oh, that's definitely a favorite. And then they came back with, was it No Pigeons or something like that? It's odd that the one thing that's not really killing me is freaking coffee. This one's got a dose of can of butter. I mean, a can of oil in it, of course, yet coffee's about the only thing that seems to want to go down. That and some tea. The best way he knows how. Another body laying cold in the gutter. Hey, don't go chasing waterfalls. Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you used to. Moving too fast. Little precious as a natural obsession. Say yes, baby, it's good to me. But he doesn't recognize his own face. My bad, you guys. Let's go ahead and go there, MJ. And I'm gonna hit this bowl before my stomach's like, hey, yeah, we ain't really that alright with it, girl. Ugh. And seriously, it just feels like adjusting for everything all the time. Hold on. My apologies. I couldn't take it no more. Big Rig, what it do, homie? How's your spirit? Me? I'm feeling super ooky. I can't seem to get whatever this tummy issue is under control. I think going out and dealing with people in the world, I came into contact with some surface. No, actually, I know what happened. Woman damn near coughed directly in my fucking face, so it is what it is. Originally, I thought it was just me eating the wrong thing, but see how I keep putting on this damn robe and taking it off? It's that. It's like, what the fluffer nutter? It's driving me bonkers. Yeah, Big Rig. I'll survive at some point. Like, and the only reason that I didn't thump her on the fucking forehead is because she was walking with two dudes. I'm not gonna get beat up. Trying to survive. Oh, there we go. Let's just take a moment for JP here. Mmm. Ooh, you got anger issues, Big Rig? That's unfortunate. How are you handling them? I have disrespect issues. I have excuses issues. I have issues with liars. What I don't have is Anger issues. Just saying. Because if I did, it's a lot of people who wouldn't be here. The crime is not in the thought, the crime is in the action. And to be fair, you said I held that in too long. It's so wrong with you, Big Rig. You talk about me, but you bringing the fart jokes today. Okay. Uh-oh. Everybody got a thing for chili over the other two. I mean, I wouldn't want nobody who was burning down houses either, but... You don't judge me. If you did, baby, I'd judge you too. You don't judge me. 'Cause if you did, baby, I'd judge you too. 'Cause I got issues, but you got them too. So give them all to me and I'll give mine to you. Just give me glory, all my problems. 'Cause we got the kind of love it takes to solve them. Yeah, I got issues. And one of them is how bad I need you. You do shit on purpose. You get mad and you break things. Feel bad trying to fix things. But you're perfect. Fully wired circuit. And got hands like an ocean. Push you out, pull you back in. 'Cause you don't touch me. 'Cause if you did, seriously, y'all, like I'm just out of sorts, which is rare for me. Yeah, in the chat. I don't have a topic today, Big Rig. I'm miserable. That's it. I figured if I turn on this camera and set up, I might perk myself up some. I'm miserable. My tummy won't calm down. I can't. Oh, you called them hutches. Okay, what they do to you? Dang, TLC, y'all treat him bad like that? Uh, I've been laying down for days. I have been taking medicine. I've been medicating for days. I've been. I have actually even considered going to the these last 2 days. The first day, I apologize, and today, really. The first day, I was laid over here on the floor, so. But I can't explain. I have a new camera, Big Rig. Like if I tried to show it to you, that wouldn't work. But if I this would. Hold on. Or are you just saying that it's clearer today? It may be, cause actually I wouldn't know specifically why, but yeah, I got a new webcam. I don't know where I put. Oh, in the drawer. Um, I had a new webcam, new light, and new headphones. Yes, from Amazon. Today is just a clear and ookie, or the ookie is clear. However you want to go about it. That's pretty much what it is. It's one of those days where I actually sitting around thinking about how much I miss my mama, cause I'd be able to lay my head in her lap and whine about how miserable I feel, or I'd be able to call her and say as much. And then I remember that even that is a presumption. because she's been gone for almost 28 years. So, we'll do, Big Rig. Mm, and it was less than $30. But yeah, it dawned on me. Um, I've been a mother for so long and without mine for so long. And it's just wild. It's actually become and to have um anyone suggest that I should anticipate something different. I think is what it is to me. That I should believe that people can and sorry, apologies. Um, I have a hard time with the way that other people think. Neurodivergent than a motherfucker. You know? Some days it feels like there's like 12 tiny brains up there. It's not a bad thing, it's just a different thing. I think the 12 tiny brains thing is a little bit more towards the complex PTSD, the DID. But anyway, like I said, when all else fails, there is that just escaping my body experience. Lay down, and when the pain hits me, just go ahead and exit stage left. Return when at least the body blows are over. It is fatiguing to the point of exhaustion. And see, the thing is once your body becomes fatigued, it starts to do what it wants. Like it'll twitch and move. That's where the restless leg syndrome starts at. Um, and then you've got sleep paralysis. Uh, my favorite is the weird, like, spasms that happen. You get too warm. More than anything, it's been an interesting journey and just. I thought I knew my body before because when I had the surgery, I decided to go, "Hey, Den, how's your spirit? Mine's really icky. Not feeling any better. Starting to feel drained. So yeah. But when I had the gastric bypass surgery, I wanted to do as many things natural as possible and stay healthy afterwards. And so, um, I got to understand my body in a way to the degree where I could tell that the changes were coming. I would know when I was getting sick. Those things, and I really got sick after a while. Um, and so now I understand that even better. Um, the unfortunate reality is when you understand to that degree, people then believe that when you don't have this need that you need. Like the ADA is just about making accommodations so that people like me and a lot of y'all can move freely in the world. Thank you, the Den. I appreciate that. I really do. I know how difficult it can be to see others in Uki, which is why I really don't commiserate. I'll share with you guys how it is that I live or whatever, or what it is that I'm experiencing, because there's someone else who can't. And when it's consistent like this, I'll share with you because it has an impact on the overall capacity to do other things. And if I'm sharing that understanding with you, you can take that understanding into conversations with your family members who are neurodivergent, disabled, excuse me, blah, 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 whatever it is. Excuse me. But like, I was on Twitter for a while, like 2017, 2018, and I couldn't take it. That's how the How's Your Spirit came about the long thing where I'll be like, citizens, how's your spirit, the little blurb, and then today's theme song, what's your theme song, all that stuff. That all came about because folks on Twitter just commiserate, bruh. All all they do is corral together and either complain about what's going on, um, try to figure out how to get short term support for a long term problem, uh, or yell into the void. And that's no offense, yet uh, it's disheartening. It's exhausting. It's like, damn, can no one come about this shit? Can we not move the needle forward to some degree? Yet even there, there's a bunch of people who are like, "Oh, I can't meet my responsibilities because of the cancer." Well, maybe you shouldn't put yourself in that role. Maybe you should be able to tell someone, "Hey, I can't meet all of these responsibilities. Ask for the appropriate accommodations, or use the appropriate means to step aside." That's what the ADA is for. What are we freaking doing? People are weird. But you get mad when people are disappointed in you not following through. When someone tells you, no, you are the one who dropped the ball. Nobody else. Responsibility and ownership starts with the individual. Mm. And the thing is it, it's understandable in the 20 somethings, it's their nature. When you do the research, when you understand the science, when you look at 20 somethings throughout the generations, that's who and what they are. There's a certain level of youthful narcissism that happens between 20 and 30. It's the ability to do for self. First, you're really thankful that you can do for self. And then you realize that doing for self is difficult. And until you can find peace of mind, it's just going to be that way. Now, once you find peace of mind and you settle into a routine, things can become comfortable. Um, and you can begin to spread your wings and fly, as they call it. Unfortunately, so many of us, so called adults, early in life decide that we have to do all of those things alone, or in the most difficult way possible, so to speak.
He says it's impossible, but I know it's possible.
Not
He
everybody
says
gets
it's
pushed out of the nest.
impossible, but I know it's possible.
Some run.
He says there's no need without him. Please help me forget about him.
A life of discipline is
Eternity
difficult.
trapped in my memory.
So imagine being
He's
raised
holding me.
with that level of
He's
discipline,
holding me.
and then meeting the
I
world
need
and
to
finding
tell you,
out that
boy.
only you and yours live up to that standard. It's gonna make you change something.
I need to tell you why I'm undone because
Then in your 30s, you realize, oh, this is why other people only make it here. Because they didn't grow up with the discipline. They didn't grow up with the pouring into. They didn't grow up with love, apologies. So, in your 30s, you kind of realize, oh shit, late 20s, early 30s, you realize, oh shit, oh shucks now, I got, I can achieve more than this right here. And you begin to move forward. Unless you've taken on a whole bunch of bullshit in your 20s because you didn't go back to the basics. Then you end up in this other situation and on your way to abject poverty. And today, more likely abject poverty than like upper class, upper poor. I mean, be at ease. So I was about 31 when I had the gastric bypass surgery. Like I said, it wasn't too long around that time that I realized for sure that my marriage wasn't going to be that. It was 2007. It'd take another 4 years for us to separate. A lot of that was due to deployments and whatnot. Um, Ta-da! Here we are. You do? I love this song, Big Rig. This and that Rude. There's a Rude Boy song. What is it? Set me free. Set me free. That's it. You remember this one? Unfortunately, it was written all over my face since like 2009. Pimp, we ain't gonna work out. Let's get these kids and co-parent this thing. But yeah. Yeah, nah, Big Rig. I was saying this the other day. If you meet somebody and they know these songs right here and they your flavor, you better go ahead and snatch them up, because it ain't many left, bruh. It's written all over your face. You don't have to say a word. Too small. All right, the poll. Okay, okay. T-Boz ain't getting no love. Dang. I love this song. I'm gonna let it play. A very lucky guy. I'm gonna change the question in here. Okay. To did you want a relationship like Whitney and Dwayne? I remember seeing them videos. You said Mac 10 was what? What? Was it Mac 10 who was married to her? Who was with her? Yeah, yeah. I mean, her voice. Come on. I don't know if it was that bad, but I hear you. I feel you. You don't have to say a word. Oh, Big Rig, you remember this? We're just gonna go to the one first. We're just gonna go straight to it. Boy, bye. This was the day I fell in love. The very first time that I saw your brown eyes, your lips said hello, and I said hi. I knew right then you were the one. But I was caught up in physical attraction, but to my satisfaction, hey, afraid. And if I am in love, hey, I will be sure that the lady is ever fall in love so true, I will be sure that the lady's just like you. Oh, yeah. I was in high school. I graduated, but only because I graduated like 6 months early. Oh, come on, Big Rig. Who didn't? Who didn't sing that song? Are you talking? Promise that you'll never leave me lonely. And then this one. I just want to be the one to serve you. Sometimes I feel as if I don't deserve you. I cherish every moment that we share. Sweetheart, I'm trying so hard to get over you. Hush, Aaron. Dang, he talked for a long time. He talked for the first full minute. Chill. The whole first minute, great day, bruh. All right, YouTube, quit playing around now. Chill, baby. There we go. First time I saw your face, girl, I knew I had to have you. I wanted to wrap you in my warm embrace. Visions of your lovely face. All my love is for you. Whatever you want, I will do. You're the only one I want in my life. For you, I'll make that sacrifice. Let I tried, apologies. I attempted to stay inside today and not come into contact with anyone. I'm going to try that again tomorrow and see if I have some better results. But who knows? Hey, Darshan. Feeling icky, but I'm glad to see you. How's your spirit? Happy holidays to you if that's something that you do. Just fussing about not feeling well. Wishing a lot of things. You know how that goes. Happy birthday or happy belated birthday. I hope you got everything that you hoped for and more. You're like one of the few not so disappointing dudes on YouTube. That's not to say that you're disappointing or anything. It's just your peer group is something to leave some things to be desired. How about that? I'm glad to hear it. Good dudes deserve great things. All over my body, girl. 0024. Oh, if I lay you down. I watched movies today for the most part. Thank you, Darshan. I was able to upgrade my camera and get a new light and new headphones. Recently, I was good with still being out here doing my thing. Of late, I don't know. Remains to be seen. As I said, your peer group's a little disappointing. So there's that. Oh. In all honesty, oh, I was basically internet accosted by uh, Big Rig. You still down there? You can tell. You can say if I'm telling an untruth anyway. I was basically internet accosted by Simon. Um, Honestly, so I ended my relationship. Let's just get into it then. I ended my relationship with Daniel. Um, and immediately it was this masculine ookiness from everywhere. My chat, at my door, and amazingly, not from him. It's the most adult acting in the entire fucking thing. These people who interacted with he and I for the last 2.5 years were like, "Oh, he gone. Let me holler at you." Couple of people, and I appreciate and respect them. I think that they may have come back now that he's gone, right? But they at least weren't present as a part of our daily kind of thing. And then because of my personality, when I say I don't want those things, I don't want to be hugged, I don't want to be affectionate with someone who's not my person. You can't say no nicely enough. And then on top of that, I don't feel well, and I already isolate myself for the most part for shit like that. And then because Arizona had me under investigation for going after politicians. Apparently, you can't speak truth to the people that you put in office because they're scared. They get in their fucking feelings. Bro, when I say it's been a year, a few months, then I've got the trashiest fucking divorce lawyer in the world. Like, dude. Oh. All of that's par for the course. The toe cracking Brett thinking that he can continue to harass me. That's why I'm disappointed in y'all in this space. I suppose y'all figure it's cute because it's happening to me. I hope it happens to you. I hope you can't sleep. I hope you can't eat. I hope someone follows you around everywhere you fucking go. And if you supported him in the bullshit, I hope you meet your destiny before Christmas. Fuck out of here. Not like all these other people. I don't come on here and put my business out in the street. I don't beg people for a fucking thing. I work hard. I get it. I won't do it again, guaranteed. And I brought these people here and gave them an opportunity. So I'm not bothered by them being young and simple and doing what the fuck 20 somethings do. I'm not bothered by what 20-year-old sons do. That's what they do. You people in this space, you claim to be fucking adults. You act worse than your children. You're grown up, adult aged wannabe gang members. How fucking sad is that? You want to be an OG, a young G, a GG, a goo goo, the fucking gaga? You want to be somebody's baby? What the fuck is wrong with you? Have you not grown up yet? You're an embarrassment to the entire fucking community. One praise someone would flush you. Like boo-boo tissue on the bottom of a shoe. I mean, seriously? The nation as a whole should be done with people like y'all. If you are over the age of 35, and you acting like you 15, go to sleep. Take a nap. Don't bother reading, that shit won't soak in at this point. There's a sickness inside of you. And I mean that with everything in my spirit, baby. It's something so broken and bitter in you that your face doesn't even recognize you. I'm gonna let you work on it. I'm gonna grab me some more coffee. I'm so through with anybody who just wants to be motherfucking average. Here's what y'all need to do: get you one of these and let him listen to you cry for a while. Get that shit out your system. Fuck your fucking feelings, bruh. The world is changing around you and you gonna get left behind. I ain't worried about me, G. I got two choices: to keep going forward or to finally fucking die. I ain't worried about me. What about you, pimp? I know what happened to a lot of you, and that's unfortunate for you and no one else. You were eating off Kevin Samuels till you couldn't eat no motherfucking more. Rest in love to you, brother. Y'all motherfuckers got swole off that man. And now you have to resort to gossip and tea and bullying, stealing, lying, committing crimes on the internet for the whole world to see. Have y'all seen this YSL thing going on? Y'all think them 200 and some odd people that they picked up the other day, and I believe it was Houston, are going to have the same outcome as those rich rappers with those lawyers that they could pay? No, simpletons. You motherfuckers are going to get what? Public defenders? They're defending the public against you, fam. Don't let them tell you any different. So you're going to end up with a public defender. That's Houston, New York, Milwaukee. And those rich rappers, they're going to go home with their little ankle monitors and their girlfriends with their BBLs. And they're going to be all right. How about you? Those of you who committed tax evasion or fraud or some type of criminal offense towards the tax code of the United States of America, why you think all them agents got guns and got hired recently? Are you fucking kidding me? You motherfuckers better learn to sing. You had better start cooperating with them. Isn't that what they say? You're supposed to be changing snitch culture. It's supposed to be okay if you're a civilian. Well, were you really a civilian or did you think you could play the game? Did you think you could get the same outcomes as the ones who came before you and cheated? Are you sure they won't get caught? There's women out here that just got caught for crimes they committed 10 years ago. That's the thing. Sure. I need to. Do I need to put my headphones on? I think so, Darshan. For you, I'll drop the link anytime. I appreciate you asking, though. Most people would just be like, drop the link. Tell me what to do. Ain't that right, Big Rig? I love you. Uh, Apologies. I was looking for these headphones. Oh, and then there's still the need for the civil rights attorneys. But anyway, it's been a heck of a year. That's all I got to say. There you go, Darshan. Let me make sure that my headphones are connected properly. Big Rig, if you're still in the chat, if you can delete that text once he's up here, the link once he's up here. If not, I'll do it. I appreciate you. Always get it on since I got headphones on. Oh, it's warm again. I cannot. Maybe I should just walk around in the blanket. That might be the better thing to do at this point. Do me a favor, if you can flash your camera for me real quick, just because the delay in getting here to there, people are special. Thank you, Darshan. You don't have to be on if you don't want to. Though.
Oh, it's all good. I'm here. I'm here. The camera's
You so
gone.
handsome. You
Thank
get
you so much.
it. You get that voice. I always show him. Listen, Darshan you might be day one, number two. You and Mr. Stewart are like neck and neck. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
appreciate you.
No problem. I caught you on, listening a little bit, seeing what's going on. Just came up here to holler at you, see what's up.
Yeah.
From what I understand, you know, it's some issues going on with you, and I don't want to be paired with the rest of the group. I'm a different kind of breed. But at the
Yes,
same
you are.
time, I understand that, I'm a man and we kind of get grouped in together. So, but one thing I like to pride myself on is listening to people without judging.
Yeah.
So um, let me just say this real quickly. I understand that we all go through a lot, and I just want to say because I have a little bit of history with you, if you ever need somebody to talk to, go ahead and talk to me because we're only here for a brief time. We're not going to live to be 200, 300. So if you need somebody to talk with, I'll let me.
I appreciate that. I want to clarify this for other people, not you, because I know that I can reach out to you and I sometimes do. Yet it's a difficulty for me. It lies around a couple of things. When you're married to the military and they're deployed all the time, you can't call them. They have to call you, and you have to be at the ready. Um, there was a time when phones wasn't going anywhere with you. You couldn't call your partner at work. A host of things that already make the mechanism wonky. And then I've had this brain injury and other things. It's just I want to reach out to people, and I have small panic attacks when I try. It's
Okay.
really that bad, and so I've been working on it slowly. So when I manage to get a tweet with your name in it or a DM over that way, brother, like I must have ate my Wheaties that day twice.
Yeah, no, I understand. I noticed too, because I think I know you understand that me being a parent and a husband, it's time consuming, but in a good
Mm,
way,
yeah,
and it's respectable. And I'm glad that you respect my time on earth because my time on earth, as we all know, is limited, any of us, but we try not to think that way. So part of my reason for hopping on tonight is like, yeah, talk about your frustrations and everything, but it just seemed like the way you were talking, like it was the end all be all. And I was like, hold on, what's going on? Like, let me holler, let me see what's going on because the end all be all is when you're in a hospice. One thing I like to say is this. I want to thank my mom for this because she used to take me to a hospice because my family, my mom and my dad, they're privileged. So I'm a privileged kid, like Romeo, but I wasn't entitled, you know. So my mom, she wanted to show me that she saw something in me that was like going over until the entitledness, and she used to take me to a hospice Tuesday through Thursday to visit like all the people. And she was like, one day you're going to be here. Now, the point of this story is you still got a lot of life left. You still got it going on. You're not in the hospice. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not over. That's my
Uh,
point. It's not over for you.
Listen, I appreciate you and I love you for saying that. Yet I died in February. Excuse me. And then I got dragged down some steps. And here I am today, not feeling well. So, what you are hearing is a bit of excess vitriol around feeling as uncomfortable in my tummy as I do, because, certain pains, there's no way for you to control anything but, like, all right, I'm going to breathe through this pain and I'm not going to hurt you. That's the best I got today, you know?
Right. Right.
But yet, I understand what you're saying. I grew up with young men from what was called Crippled Children's Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee, coming to my home. There was a young man, and we'll just call him David, who, when I was a little girl, he had had his legs amputated by a train.
Okay.
And so, shucks, I was like 5 or 6 at the time, but these guys were just the coolest homies in the world. They looked out for him. They went to the hospital with him, to his appointments with him. I've seen real people in action. So the other thing that you're hearing is my disappointment in every so-called professional adult in this space who is only playing YouTube politics. You
Okay.
understand?
Okay. I understand. I understand.
And that's just because we don't have time for, we have real world politics. We've got children with real problems. We got the Romeos of the world making children with real problems think it's okay to act the way that he did on the internet. We're not solving anything. We're not
Mhm.
offering solutions. We're not offering sage counsel. Just talk.
Mhm.
And if we're going to talk, can we do that at home? Can't we
Right.
just, or if you're going to talk, can you offer something of actual value? We just blathering.
Yeah. Um. You know what? And I think part of what I'm noticing about that situation and us as children to our parents, when you don't get a chance to like really know who your father and your mother is, you do feel like you can't talk to them. There was a time in my life where I felt like I couldn't speak to anybody, any adult, my mom and my dad, until one day I was like, you know what? Let me reach out to them and see what's up. And your family, once you come to them like with a humble spirit, they'll they'll humble themselves, but they have this thing of tough love that doesn't seem like love, and they'll kind of coach you through who they are, and you just got to understand it like for what it is. So me looking at that Romeo and Master P situation, I go, I wonder how much did Romeo really know his father for him to put it out on social media like that? Because we all know that social media, well, I'm just going to say this along with some other people. Social media
Mm.
sometimes is the devil, you know. It brings out the worst
Yes.
in people because they're trying to get likes, they're trying to get views, and those likes and views don't end up to monetary gain. They just the numbers just add up, but the bank account don't, you know.
Yeah.
So it's so funny when I see people do this type of stuff. I go, well, how much money is in your bank account to make this worth it? So to see Romeo do what he did to his father, it kind of is a foundation of how most black families are operating, especially black fathers with their children. I did a stream on it earlier today, and one of the things I had talked about was the mommy and daddy did too much. You know, mommy and daddy did too much for their kids because maybe you can agree to this, maybe not. Mainly what your children want from you, whether it's boy or girl, they just want your time and
Yep.
attention. They don't care
Yep.
about your Maserati. They don't care
Nope.
about the house. They don't even care about eating a bologna sandwich. All they care about is mommy and daddy fixed me that bologna sandwich.
Yep.
So we have a tendency to do too much for our children, thinking that we're saving them from something when actually we're hindering them. They need to go through it. You can what you do is you protect them from somebody actually harming them from the outside world, but you have to let them fall at the playground. You have to let
Yeah.
them, kind of get pushed around in life a little bit so they can come back to you and say, well, this person did this to me. And then you teach them from that moment, you know. Um, so yeah, it's just one
I
of those
s-
things.
I earlier said that unloved children turn into these adults that we're witnessing behave the way that they do on the internet.
Yeah.
Even the young Romeos of the world to some degree, because it, it's kind of obvious that he didn't know his father, but that's one of those things that I recognize and understand too. And I think that, no offense, traveling fathers fall short. Darshana, you write books.
Mhm.
You know that you can just as easily read a book, put it on tape, and leave it for a child. And when you're not able to make that phone call or be there to read that book, they can still hear your voice.
Right.
It's I've not met. They're getting better. There are the younger generation of dads are awesome. Yet I've not met enough fathers who make the intentional effort first. Someone I recognize that there's a lot of our men who haven't had male role models in their lives. Yet I suppose I anticipated more of them wanting to, for lack of a better word, do right.
Hmm.
And witnessing them fall so far short is disappointing.
Yeah. Um, my answer to that would be, when it comes on the men's side as a father, it's something that's intentional. You have to want to do it. You have to want to be there, and then in that want, you have to understand that your children are going to need you to give you their time. And
Yeah.
I like to tell people all the excuses are out of the window for people who say, "Well, nobody taught me how to be a parent. Nobody taught me how to be this and that." It's like, no, no. Listen, back in at least 1980 something, people were teaching us how to be the right parent, not to pick up on the generational curses. You know, it's 2022. There are way too many books, way too many videos to tell people like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do this. Maybe you shouldn't have this type of conversation, type of deal, like with your children. And
Right.
it's just kind of sad to see, which was part of the reason, like I started writing children's books because I understood in my business life of being busy that it's going to require for a mom and a dad to be present. So if you're reading a children's book with your child, trust me, that time, that moment with your child is way more than what you're going to put in their bank account. Way more than
Exactly.
being on television with your kid. They're going to remember, oh, I remember my dad wrote, read this book with me. I remember my
Mm-hmm.
dad helped me tie my shoes. Like even for me, my dad is like successful, but I remember him teaching me how to do things instead of him buying me stuff. you know but but in the black male perspective, and just the male perspective in general, for a man who's trying to provide for his family, we look at, well, look what I did for you. Like, look at this house, look at the car, and the kids are like, okay, but you didn't spend no time with me,
Yeah.
and it turns into one of those things. So, but that's with everybody on any level. Whether you're an auntie or uncle, people see that and be like, well, you never spent no time with me, whatever. You was always working, and you discipline me too hard, and they're like, no, I'm trying to keep you from getting in trouble, and also I'm trying to keep you from going to jail,
Yeah.
you know.
Or
But
you
a
just
lot of
didn't
people don't
bother to
understand.
show up sometimes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I one of the things that used to irk me as a kid, as a child, even as an adult child, was the way that my parents' siblings thought that we, as their nieces, owed them some type of interaction or reverence once we became of adult age. Like, you ain't called me, you ain't sent me a birthday card, you don't know anything about me. Can you tell me the names of my children? But you want me to be like, hey homie, how you doing? No, there comes a point where sometimes you have to accept that your family of origin is not the family that you're going to rest with.
Right.
And I don't want to, that's not always a bad thing. Some family members obviously are going along or whatever, yet we have to accept that, in order to break curses, you've got to let go of some things. And it may not always be a long term thing, it may be temporary. But I say all that because, ironically, it's the thing that, I mentioned Kevin Samuels earlier. It's the thing that he and I talked about. I was like, what's wrong with our community? What is it that you think we need to do to fix it. Well, what do you think? What is it that you think caused it, and how can we fix it? Um, and so here I am, and so that's why I was like, it seems as though people just reacted to his content and never ever really took it in.
Yeah,
They never listened to the things that he was actually saying, just the fact that it was popular and it could get them attention in some way.
yeah. One of the great things that I took from Kevin Samuels, despite how people were judging him on like what he dressed like, what he was saying, he was actually trying to pull people together in the good faith aspect. Like if you find two people who are serious about being with each other, wanting to get married, or just be in a relationship to have kids, like that's who you go for. But it's like a real conversation. And it went over a lot of people's heads about what he was talking about because they were looking at the YouTube entertainment value of what he was doing versus what he was saying. That's part of the reason why I became a writer. I was paying attention to the words he was using, you know. And he was honestly trying to get people together, especially in the black community, by saying like, "Hey, if you see somebody that you like, with if you're a top female or woman lawyer or doctor, and there's a guy who's a plumber or doing the trash, and but y'all match up, get with that man, you know." And don't put your money over what he's doing over his masculinity, like rock and roll with it, because you're gonna at least you have a father, you got somebody in the household working it with you, But a lot of what he said, a lot of people overlooked. Um, but one thing I understood about Kevin though, he started to realize that his approach, his delivery, was getting to people, and that's the only way that they were going to listen. So yeah, he did his thing though. He did his thing.
He did, and sometimes, of course, I'm gonna always wonder on that last part. Hey, quantum baby, how's your spirit? Only because I'm a mother. He's a father, right? One of us is always gonna be like, "Don't be so hard on the babies," and the other one's always gonna be like, "We got to be hard on the babies." So, it's that part. But aside from that, I am someone who grew up with my parents in my life. My father's still alive. I recognize the importance. Of keeping in contact with your family members, understanding your blood ties, those that aren't blood ties but are damn near close enough. They matter um, in life and later on, so to speak. Yet we, yes, I said that we may need to leave our family of origin. Yet that's what men are supposed to do, damn near outright. Like,
Hmm.
y'all are supposed to reach your age of majority and be like, I want to make my own way. I want to find me a wife. I want to conquer some land. I want to do. You all are supposed to want to leave. Our daughters need to be prepared to go into your homes, yet they shouldn't be ready to leave until there is another home for them to go into. That's the
Hmm.
way that I grew up and married. And people say, "Oh well, JP, you spoiled. You this." No, I put in work every day. My parents put in work every day. There was someone who was intentional with every move made in my life, so that I could have the outcomes that I have, and that my children could have theirs. My children won't have to reach poverty or come up from poverty. They have a floor. Is it the greatest? Nah, but it's better than a lot of other ones. So they've got somewhere to start from. We're allowing them to fall into the hole in the floor in the basement,
Yeah.
like that part.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think at some point in history we'll I think well I think my we'll figure it out at some point. We'll get it at some point because one thing I've noticed about all people is that we're so busy tearing each other down. We're so busy trying to take the money of opportunity, thinking that the money is going somewhere. And if it wasn't for my business practices and me doing certain things, I go, well, a lot of people don't understand that the money isn't going anywhere. I mean, they're trying to change the currency to like one currency, but the money isn't going anywhere because people still have to survive. Trash still needs to be taken out and stuff like that. So it's one of those things that we'll get it. They'll get it. It may be a few years down the line, but a lot of people will understand it. Um, but just going back to you and what you were saying earlier, I think if anything, man, well, not man, but if anything, I just want to say like, if you need to holler at me, holler at me, because sometimes when you're talking to someone, you just need someone just to listen to you so you can talk out your situation, and I'm only saying this because back in the day when I became successful from my vision, from my dreams and my goals, and I made it to the top of where I wanted to be, I was thinking like, who does a top person need to talk to? And I was like, who can I trust, or who can I just have listen to me without judging me? And I had found that person that just let me talk. And as I was talking, I talked myself out of my situation. I was like, oh, okay, you know. So I just want to be able to like extend my hand to you, extend my ear, and say like, if you need me to just listen to you, I'm here. And I'm only saying that because I recognize what's happening in life, and not to dish you, but I know you're not going to be here physically for 1,000 years. You see what I'm saying? And that's the perspective I like to put on people. Like, if you think you're going to be here for 1,000 years, then think again, type of deal. Um, so I'm just extending my hand to you, and because I want to see people make. I like to see people happy,
Yeah.
because I know what happy feels like.
I mean, I've had lots of happy. That's not it. As I said,
Yeah.
I don't think I'll be here for 1,000 years. I'm looking for like 104 to 116. Because the kids' great grandmother, she lasted to 104. Her sisters are in their 90s. And my grandmother on my father's side lived for quite some time. So, I am kind of putting my eggs in the longevity basket just a little bit. Don't
Yeah.
yeah, you
I
got to
got you.
aim high in order to be able, you know what I'm saying?
I
I'm trying to
got you.
change the whole world. That's going to take at least a couple decades. And then I got to relax and look around and enjoy everything.
Right,
That's
right,
time,
right.
you
Yeah,
know. But no,
yeah.
I appreciate you, Darshan. I'm really not as mm, down as I said. The more my tummy starts to quit acting the fool, the better that I feel. Yet it's such a temporary thing at this point. It's just like, hmm, I can share my venom and vitriol, get it out my system. But really, to be honest, so like a lot of people learn coping mechanisms when they go to therapy. So
Hmm.
years ago, I learned coping mechanisms to get through my emotional stuffs, and what I do turned me into someone who has OCD. But I clean, like I will clean from the ceiling to the floor if necessary. I was gonna have a GI party today because tomorrow is the winter solstice. A GI party is basically where soldiers clean the barracks or the office or whatever. It's an appreciation thing. If you weren't aware, so I was gonna do that. I might do it for the end of the year. Like just cleanse the whole house, open up the doors, get some energy flowing through here so that you can move forward. Especially if you've got cooties people anyway, you need to open your doors and windows. You need to pine sol every now and then. Those
Right.
types of things. So wash your hands, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Soap, lather, ABC song. Sing it twice if you need to, because God dog, nobody should continue to be this sick. And I mean those of you who had COVID the last 2 years instead of just getting it the first time. Those of you who got COVID, the flu, and the rotavirus, y'all are doing way too doggone much. You need to wash your hands and stay your tail inside. Read a book,
Mhm.
learn something new, check on your strong people and your not so strong people. Darshan, I appreciate you. You were the first one to share your books with me, which was great because then I got to share all that stuff with other people. Uh, you've been out here. I check in on you from time to time. Sometimes I can say hi. I did not know you went live this morning, but I'm miserable. Um, I think that you're amazing. I think you have more to share than you do, which is the same thing about me. I'm just curious why you take the approach that you take at this point.
And what approach are you referring to?
Um, You seem to be one across platforms and two not worried about the speed of growth.
Okay, yeah, perfect. The reason I'm not worried about the speed of growth is because aside from this digital content, I'm like extremely successful in real life. And when I do things like on YouTube and like I share it, I don't worry about the numbers. Like I know okay, I'll put it to you like this. I deal with companies that deal with YouTube and I see how they fudge numbers. I get on here because I realize the longevity of digital content. But as far as like really trying to grow from when people see numbers and likes, I'm not concerned about that because I know it's fudged, And I'm actually a private or a silent partner in companies that do things for YouTube as a third party. So I don't concern myself with that. Um, Again, when I look at my surroundings, that's my growth. I go, man, I finally my dreams, my words, my visions finally lined up to like what I see in front of me. You know.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't be worried about it.
Okay. If I appreciate that. One more question. A little bit of a prying. I think that you told me you and your wife had been together for a rather long time.
Hmm.
Um, how has that journey been? Like, I think that that's one of the things that the space needs to understand what it's like to one support a gentleman who is attempting to achieve that level of status, and two, what you had to risk in order to get it done.
Okay, so let me say this for people who are going to catch it on the replay or watching live. Once you get any type of product inside of Walmart, you become successful, for the most part. So you bring it over into your marriage. When you're married and you become extremely successful, um, it's a difficult battle because you start to realize that your attention is being pulled. And what's more important? Um, we look at our marriages as like second priority, but your marriage actually becomes your first priority. And then when you get into business, you start to realize that these people need you because you have to supply these products because they have so many customers demanding it. So one of the things I started realizing was, you know what? My marriage will start to fall in shambles if I keep on putting the business before my marriage. However, if I don't do business, I'm not going to have a successful marriage because the business is taking care of things around the house. But at the same time, I realize I'm being pulled away from my wife. I'm being pulled away from my daughter. So what's more important? Like, what do they really want? They want me. But what do the companies want? The companies want me to produce product. So in my marriage for the past like 10 years, we've been married for 7, but we've been together for 10. It's been difficult. It's a difficult thing, because you start to realize like I got married not to get divorced. And I'm not trying to have the money overcompensate the love, if you will, or
Yep.
the moments between me and my wife and my daughter. So it's a difficult thing. People make it seem as if like, oh well, if she don't get along with it or he don't get along with it, just divorce them. It's like, no, 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 no. You get attached to families. You got nephew-in-laws and you got all these in-laws and you get attached. And it's not one of those things where you be like, oh, I'm just gonna, oh, I go find me a new lady or whatever. It's like, nah, that's not it. Because I got in it to be in it because I wanted to start running the streets. I wanted to prove to myself that hey, I'm ready to have a family. I'm ready to do what my dad did, type of
Mhm.
deal. So as a man, not even as a black man, but just a man in general, women are extremely emotional, and we have to try to tap into what they got going on. It doesn't mean that you have to be as emotional as them, but I understand that my wife, she needs a shoulder to lean on, right? Because at the end of the day, if you're telling me that women have this sexual value market, she can go talk to anybody else if she decides to go find it. But if I'm not that shoulder for her to lean on, then that's when your marriage gets kind of shaky, you know. So yeah, marriage is when people say it's tough. The thing that's tough about it is trying to prioritize your time for what's important. And let me
Mhm.
tell you right now, money is going to always be there, but people are not. And that's your prioritization.
That is very true. This is one of those things is figuring out how to make sure that everybody in the family has one, time to themselves, time collectively, and time with each other family member. The larger the family is, the sometimes the more difficult that is, sometimes the easier. Because when you got, 8 kids, then the 4 older ones are helping with the 4 younger ones, and you just got to kind of manage that. Yet when you're a young couple and you've got this one little person, I think that's probably, um, one of the more difficult situations, because you got to find time for yourself. So what I would tell my children's father is, take the first hour when you get home from work, go play your games, go do whatever it is you need to do, and then interact with the fellas. Um, we had a deal set up where from Friday, an hour after you got home from work until Sunday at noon, you had to take care of the fellas, because I'm home, all of the other days during the week, making sure that they're taken care of, going to school, you're taken care of, everyone has what they need. So we have to compromise. And being able to make those little compromises, is what makes for successful family management and running, but it doesn't account for, like you said, whether or not the money takes the place of the love.
Right.
Because if we're comfortable and that, schedule and metric works, then we'll get focused on making sure that the money is there to keep the schedule, instead of making sure that the love is there to keep the family on schedule.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the biggest things I'm starting to recognize is if you become a financial successful parent, or just well, I'm, I oftentimes think of a different tax bracket, but I would tell any parent this: y- you teach your children in the ways that they should go, instead of trying to give them things to cover your love. When you start to teach them, even in the beginning, just teach them the direction and how money is and how life is. Those lessons are more memorable than my daddy gave me this rare Teddy Ruxpin or something like that, you know.
Hmm.
And I think for most parents to keep their heart from being broken, start off, you love your children in the infancy stages, but the moment they start to walk, the moment they start to talk, you start teaching them in the ways that they should go. Because when you start giving them everything, they become entitled. And um, I did that. I did that because we had made it. When I'm telling you, like, I'm okay. If something was to happen to me right now, I did it. Right? I did it. But one thing I started to realize was, if something was to happen to me at that time that I did it, my little girl, she would be entitled. She was entitled at 2. I saw it at 2 years old, and I cut it off. I say, no more YouTube, no more, no, 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 no modeling, no, no, no. You got to
Wow.
work for what you want. Because I saw it instantly. And ever
Okay.
since then, we pulled her back from it. And I was like, let me teach her what I'm doing. So when I go somewhere, you see, this is why daddy can't play with you. This is why mommy can't play with you, because we got to talk to these people who want your product. And there's no time to play. So I think she finally understood, probably like at 4 or 5, right? She finally understood that, oh, if you go here for X amount of hours, you're not playing. I thought you were playing without me. That was her whole thing. I thought you guys were having fun without me, you know. And I was like, no, no,
Okay.
we're not having fun without you. We're trying to get some money so we can have fun with you later. So it's business first before pleasure, But when you become a new parent, it's really hard to separate yourself from spoiling your child, because you finally realize that children are ultimately innocent the moment they come out, and everything is
Well,
being taught.
here's the one thing that I will, almost say clarify.
Okay.
Children are learning from you in utero. I don't know if you knew this through the whole thing. Yet you can put like headphones on your baby's ears, on your belly, and they can follow the light. If you
Yeah.
read to your baby will hear you reading and absorb that information. Although it's being absorbed through this watery sounding thing.
Right.
Um, they are actually absorbing all of those things, and when they are born, they're trying to like place it right. So it's like, I heard this thing when I was in utero all this time. Oh, it sounds like that. Oh crap, it looks like something now. And that's, so they're learning a one the moment that, that's why they say you're a mother the moment that you find out that you're pregnant, but you're a father 9 months later.
Yeah.
And it's because we immediately have to be aware that everything we say, do, eat is somehow not just impacting their growth, their ability to develop mentally, physically, to be able to take on the world. These pandemic babies, honey, them
Yeah.
they coming out ready to walk and talk. I thought I had I had a miracle baby, so to speak. My youngest son was born 3 pounds, 8 ounces, like 26, 27 weeks, and he was born inside of his amniotic sac.
Okay.
So a rare birth in and of itself. Um, and it actually, science, spiritualists, religious folks believe that there's something about being born in that cushion of water still that makes a huge difference. So I say all that to say, while they're in utero, they are absorbing everything. If you are out here yelling, hollering, and screaming, that's the world that they're anticipating coming into.
Mhm.
Also, if you can avoid having them born into that bright light thing, it's a shocker. Like babies aren't prepared for that dim light into some type of, like, help them to we don't make the transition enough. We're
Yeah.
so into Western medicine and those things that we've forgotten that a lot of getting babies into the world and prepared for the world starts in utero, educating them, feeding every part of them. It's up to us. It's the one time that I think women should gain weight is when they're ready to have a child, because
Mhm.
you're going to need to be able to give all of those nutrients to that baby and not lose your own. We tend to deplete ours. That's why they say that we're closer to death between the pain, the way that we breathe, and then this, you're giving over all of your nutrients and minerals to create this little life. So one thing, fellas, get involved. Darshan, tell them, get
Yeah.
involved.
Listen, I was so involved, and I'll share this story just real quickly. My wife and I, we worked for a law firm. Um, she took her leave of absence to, get a settlement, and I worked at the same law firm as her. And I realized that when I was doing a daddy boot camp classes, that in reading those books and those guidelines, it really required for the father to be probably more involved than the mother, because the mother would be too drained of energy. They're on the borderline of like, she may not make it. Not, not my wife. I'm just saying, like, women, when they push,
Mm.
it's they pushing the poop, but they pushing the push. So it takes a lot of energy. And this lawyer told me, that was teaching a daddy boot camp class. He was like, "Hey man, I took 2 months off," and he said, "But however much time you can take off, trust me, it'll help you develop a better relationship, because the baby comes out and they feel the woman first, and they get more of that. But if you can be there, he said, you're going to be a great dad." So I took 7 months off, and I quit from the law firm. I ended up
Nice.
quitting, and it was probably the best 7 months that I had ever experienced, because I was there to help. I was there to help. I was there because that's what I wanted. I had made up my mind, like, I'm getting married. I want to be there for my kid. Like, this is what I want. And it's something that you have to do that's intentional, you know. And again, this isn't like a black man issue. This is just a man issue. Like, if you want to
Yep.
be in your kid's life, if you're looking forward to making life better for them later, is being there. It's not a it's the money ain't gonna do it.
Yep.
Hey, hey, tell me about your dad. Oh boy, he gave me $35,000. He gave me 2 million. Oh, no, 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 no. Tell me about your dad. Tell me about your mom. Like, that's what people want to know. They want to know your story. Like,
Yep.
I mean, think about it. Think about it. How many people ask you, well, tell me how much money you made?
None.
They say, tell me about you, because
Yeah.
that's what people are looking forward to. So yeah, anybody who's thinking about becoming a dad, man, you got to be there, because
You
that's what
have
the
to be
kids want.
there.
Yeah, that's
You're
what they
right.
want.
It's not a. there's nothing racial about it. We just tend to make it a race issue because then it's easier to say, well, look, it's really somebody else and not us. No.
Mm.
As a country, we just didn't. And I'm not even saying this in a way to make it sound like men in general are bad at it. There were years where men couldn't be in the delivery room. They were out in the hallway or whatever. And then eventually they've made it into the delivery room to the point where my children's father caught the middle child. Because the doctor didn't make it back in time. So there's this, but being there does matter. That's your child looking into that little face and laying that little thing on your chest, and then listening to you and be like, "Oh, that's the dude that kept talking to her all the time. He ain't as bad as I thought he was. He took up a lot of our
Mm.
time and attention, but you know, it's
Yeah.
cool. We have to build these relationships." And I'm saying that as someone who um, was I pregnant both times? No, my very first pregnancy, he was deployed. And so he didn't get to come home until a week after our eldest was born. And because of it, they do have this kind of wonky connection. All three of us have this wonky connection because we weren't able to have that encapsulated moment as a family. And unfortunately, I believe more and more people are living that existence where it's
Yeah.
a mother and her sister and her homegirl versus mom and dad and a surrounding family who loves them. But yeah, I appreciate you, Darshan. I ain't, I might decide to leave YouTube for a while. I knew what media and the space was, all those things. I'm not new to it. It's literally the stalking. Like, why do you think that you should be allowed any access to me?
Mm.
Because we had conversations 6 months ago. Why do you believe that you should have any access to me? That's beyond the pale. That's not relationships. That's not a miscommunication error. When told to leave, and literally, Darshan, told to leave me alone, asked to leave this panel gracefully, and then left, changed names, and came back into my chat the exact same night.
Mm.
That's not normal human behavior.
Right. Right.
And that's what you heard when I was like, all I got to do is stay black and die. That's what I was talking about. Like,
Right. Right.
nah, if the world is going to allow you to associate with men like that, and I can't hold you accountable, then okay, I'm on stage AP. I'm going to do what I got to do. And I hope the universe holds you accountable because that's not okay. It's just, you know, that part of it. And I've seen it so much these last couple of years that I'm just like, on top of not feeling well and everything else, I'm gonna go ahead and let this steam off. That's all.
Yeah. No, I got you. I got you. Well, in closing, I'm gonna say this. Of course, do what you got to do to get it out. Um, I guess I just want to say this because that's when I was listening to you. Holla at me. Holla at me. You
I
know,
will.
yeah, holla at me. That's all I can really say. Like, holla at me. Let me know what's going on, and we can make some things pop off for you. And if you decide to
I mean,
leave
you know any?
YouTube, go ahead. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
I was gonna say, if you know any lawyers in Atlanta, then we definitely need to talk because I should have
Okay.
been divorced by now. But yeah, we'll
Okay.
talk.
I got friends. I got friends, especially in
I
Atlanta.
appreciate.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I'm ready to disbar my attorney here in Arizona. So, I mean, you may not want to introduce me to your friends. It's taken 2 years and still nothing. You promised me a divorce in October of this year and still nothing.
Well,
It's
I'll tell you
insane.
what. Just talk to me. Let's talk in private because I got some people in Atlanta.
Yeah,
Because I'm well connected, and just talk to me, and I'll tell you what the
will do.
deal is.
I appreciate you, Darshan.
All right. See you
Have
later.
a blessed one. Hey, make sure you go to the chat and drop your link before you leave. I'm gonna be here
All
for
right.
about 15 more minutes so I can pretend like I'm in a better mood.
All right. We'll do.
I actually am. Thank you. I
All right.
appreciate you stopping through.
All right. See you.
Please. Man, y'all, I actually have some great community members, believe it or not. Darshan, I forgot to mention the doggone underwears. I need to find out how that's going. He had underwork line that he was working on, and I happened to catch one of the live streams where he was trying out a sample, and it was just hilarious. Then I saw another live stream where he was trying to hurry up and shove down some food when he knew he should have been taking his time to eat. But yeah, when you have that type of a busy life, when you are trying to set up all your goals and those things, it's the kind of thing that happens. Remembering to eat goes by the wayside. All sorts of things. You said underline is coming in 2023. Yay! Pause. Darshawn, you're as bad as me. But yeah, no, I am. I appreciate you. I'll probably try to reach out tomorrow. Tonight, I am. I'm gonna lay up and watch some more movies. I think, and um, you know how you do, contemplate the meaning of life. Until such time as life starts to talk to you again, or the universe, creator, whatever you call it. Um, I just realized, like this morning, that I've been in Tucson 3 years. I'm into my fourth year now, which means that I've been streaming maybe for longer than I think, 18 months, I guess maybe. August of 2020, right? No, August 2021 to August 2022. Okay, so a year and 3 months, roughly four. So 16 months. Yeah, I'm into my second year. Lots of surprises. Um, some good, some bad. None of them unsurvivable or insurmountable or whatever it is they call it. Hmm. But there are a lot of amazing people out here. Uh, and I won't front. I do know a lot of people who are like, JP, just talk to me. If you knew the secrets that I've kept and for how long. Good night, Darshan. Have a blessed one. Thank you. Um, it's one of those things. It's just difficult. Sometimes I wish it were easier. It just isn't. Um, to be honest, I'm someone who doesn't really like to talk that much because of this. Because as a mother, military volunteer leader, chef, general manager, entrepreneur, you have to talk and think for so many people. I just don't want to. I'm not sure that I ever wanted to. It was a job. But look at that. I think that's a sign from the universe because I just lost my internet connection on this side. That's odd. Mm. Hmm. Thank you to everyone who stopped through. It's interesting. I have 49 views and 6 likes. Y'all are wild. Let's see. Looking at our second poll, 56% of you preferred chili. And the other 44 prefer left eye. Big Rig said it though. He was like, "Nah, she got that deep ass voice." I feel you, Big Rig. If her voice is as deep as yours, I can understand how you may not want to walk into the room with her, especially in the dark. It might surprise you a little bit. um, and then let's see who's live right now. I might send you over there. Child, some folks whining. Let's see. The den is supposed to be live in an hour, according to my thingy. Room Shaker's live now. JMD, POV. Y'all got some options out there. Me, I am going to take a pause for the cause and then come back and play a little bit more music and get myself together. Hey, Mark, how's your spirit? Um, I was gonna take a pause for the cause, so I'll be right back. Here, we'll just play the thingy for you. Give me a moment. Black love is the scaffolding between power and understanding, the freedom in knowing the gravitational call to the stars, the refinement necessary to keep them from colliding, the knowledge that our story isn't precautionary tales or careless whispers. Your systems will be measured, their void put on display. We are the color born of a galaxy in darkness, black excellence, the fourth element, the fourth element. Just by those two little, y'all don't understand.
That's so rouse your religion. Two Y's, T and W.
Black, y'all.
Rap for my people, die for my people. Rap for my people, die for my people, yeah. Rap for my people, die for my people. Rap for my GG, die for my people, yeah. Die for my people, yeah. Rap for my GG, yeah. Rap for my people, yeah. Rap for my people, yeah. Die for my GG, yeah. Die for my GG, yeah. Rap for my people, yeah.
I'm back. Um, your spirit's tired, Mark. Why? Mine's ooky. Yours is tired. What's going on in the world? Um, I personally, I'm gonna have to take. I'm gonna eat me some chicken in a little while. And go back to sleep, I think. But really, if this pain and this knot in my tummy doesn't abate before too long, I'm just going to have to suck it up and go to the doctor. The worst part means going to the doctor by myself, and that's always icky. But anyway, what's going on in your world, Mark? Excuse me. I need to charge these later. So here for now. What have you been up to today that's got you so tired, Mark? Me? It's been surviving cooties for the most part. Um, and trying to keep myself from the December despairs, because if your tummy's all out of sorts and whatnot, then December doesn't help anything. The short days, the extra darkness doesn't really help. But I'm doing decent, all things considered. Let's see. Yes. Oh, thank you, Mark. I forgot to comment. Well, I was gonna go back and then I haven't yet. I intend to though. I don't know. The song's staying in my head, which means that I need to play it now so that it will get out. Or there's something I need to think about. Nope, playing the short version. To the R. So what's up, Mark? Tell me what you've been up to that's got your spirit so tired. Mine, it's just been purging of everything ever. Been missing my mom today. I wish more people understood how precious it is to have your mother. But some people just don't, unfortunately. You said are you surviving cooties as well, Mark? Or are you just talking about me? Yeah, I'm a survivor, a thriver, resiliently brilliant. Same, Mark. Sometimes that I wish that I was one of those girly girls where I played with my eyebrows and makeup and all that stuff. Maybe that would stop me from thinking about all the things in the world that are busted. I don't know. I appreciate Darshan stopping through. My tummy seems to have chilled out a bit since while I was talking to him.
Thank you.
We'll see what the next few hours bring. Oh, we're not gonna do the same song twice. It's not good. Oh, hey, let's go back. I was doing some old school earlier. I said I was gonna try to get my spirit up before I get up out of here. So let's go back to some old school. You remember this one, Mark? I know, right? Back cooties, back. It's not working, Mark. We can't lion tame these cooties away, bruh. It never really mattered too much to me. Hey, this is a red light song. But you was just too damn low for me. Ow. All that really mattered was you. Make sure y'all do all that YouTuber stuff. And baby, that's all that matters to me. Let me love you down. I appreciate you, Darshan. As much as I tried to not talk about me, you was like, nah, JP, you gonna open your mouth today. Pause. I appreciate that. Remember when I drove you home from work? awful secretive, Mark. Just one of those days. That's it. You're not gonna share any details, Mark? I think I'm gonna stop sharing things too. I think I have plenty of videos and information on this channel at this point to be able to start pulling the information out for books. So, yeah, it was ready for the world. Spoke too soon. Don't take it personal. Baby, 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 baby. That's all right, Mark. Describing it starts with words. Give the best words you got, and we'll go from there. Hey. Oh. You know, Darshan mentioned hospice. One of the things that I do appreciate is I really didn't have to see my mom's pain. She was medicated, but you could see her pain just the same, what she was going through. That is, it'd be like that sometimes. Oh, but it feels like there's just this lump sitting at the top of my tummy. Look, see, there you go. But it too shall. No, Mark. It's not okay. It's not okay.
When I was young, my mama had me 17 years old, kicked out on the streets. Though back at the time, I never thought I'd see a face. Ain't a woman alive that could take my mama's place. Suspended from school, I'm scared to go home. I was a fool with the big boys, breaking all the rules. Shed tears with my baby sister. Over the years, we was poor than
Other little kids.
And even though we had different daddies,
Same drama, the things that are wrong, we blame mama.
reminisce on the stress I caused. It was hell.
Hugging on the mama from a jail cell.
And who thinking elementary?
Hey, I see that you
Penitentiary.
one day.
Running from the police.
That's right. Mama catch me, put a whoop into my backside.
And even as a crack fiend, mama,
You always was a black queen, mama.
I finally understand for a woman it ain't
Easy trying to raise a man. Oh.
always was committed. A poor single mother on welfare. Tell me how you did it. There's no way I can pay you back. But the plan is to show you that I understand. You all appreciate it. Dear mama.
You know this one, Mark? Yeah, it's the thing that I don't want for my kids, Mark. I think if anyone's most likely to follow my mother and have the stomach cancer, it's me. Um, I don't want my kids to watch it either. It's probably why I won't go to the doctor when it's just me and one of my sons here. Especially she keeps it on the radio. Listens to the memory. It's 10:07. Yes, ghetto heaven. Baby, 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 all I need is for you. I wanna come anywhere, baby. Fine. Oh no, a little bit. I wasn't sure. I I had a little bit of hope in me that you wouldn't know it, Mark. How about that? I had a little bit of hope in me that you weren't gonna know it. I know you know this one though, so. Hey. Dang. Oh man. Someone please gift me cannabis. That's all I want. I'll even pretend to celebrate your holiday. Sometimes in our lives, we all have days. Yes, lean on me. But if we are wise, I won't lie, Mark. If I had a person, today is one of those days. Lean on me. I'll be your friend. Carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Swallow your pride if I say. I have this. Today's one of those days. I have this thing where it's a game, kind of, where I say, "Lay with me until I fall asleep," and then I never fall asleep. Today's one of those days, though. I'm gonna fall asleep. I've fallen asleep several times, but yeah, it's like that. Winter days are great for that kind of thing. Here, for those of you out there where it's really cold. Oh, my tummy. Ow. Oh, that really hurt. Gross. Sorry.
Baby, it's cool outside. I got to go away.
Baby, it's cold outside. Hey.
This evening has been hoping that you drop in. So very nice. I'll hold your hand.
Yep, rainy days,
Just my
snowy days. You want some rainy days? You feeling your little Mary?
listen to that fireplace.
So really,
Beautiful, please don't hurry. Why don't you put some records on right now?
there you go, Mark.
Ooh,
It's
baby,
those rainy days.
Mary J. Blige.
It's nice to see all the scammers getting locked up, though.
Smile.
No offense to your families, that is. But when you commit crimes, I feel like when you knowingly scam your people too. Actually, Mark, it's like 50 degrees here. It's gonna get into the 60s. I think even like upper 60s this week here in Arizona. Mm. Seriously, I cannot do another bath. I cannot do. I cannot do. So praying that the Lord get you through kind of thing, Mark. Mm. It's a little tender to the touch, but not as bad as it was. It's inflammation, I think, because it's more rebound hurt than as soon as I press on it. It's more when I release. Oh. Um, Mark, I think it's cold everywhere, but you're up north where it's supposed to be cold this time of year. Oh, you guys, tomorrow I'm going to introduce you to, well, I'm going to try to introduce you to this new art, this gentleman that I found. He's here in Tucson. He did a weather reel for Tucson today on the Facebook that was so adorable. I want to share his information with you. His name is Marcus Young. Um, he had really great, excuse me, uh, cute little showing. So, uh, I don't think that I have, Mark. No. Yeah, cod liver oil. No. Oh, CBD oil. No, but you just reminded me that I have a CBD pen that might do me some good right this minute. Um, most things, excuse me, I do full spectrum, Mark. I use CBD usually as my counter in case I don't feel well, like if I'm over medicated or something like that. But you just helped me to remember that someone had given me a CBD pen. Unfortunately, I've yet to find anything CBD that really deals with my tummy the way I need. I know, right, Tanar? And I really just think that's more because you reminded me that I have the thing. Oh, but yeah, no. For the most part, for the most part, Mark, I I haven't found the same success with CBD, and I did use it when I first got here. Um,
Excuse me. Uh, I suppose that I'm gonna figure out how to get myself to the doctor. I can't go too many more days feeling this way. I'll give myself a couple more, I guess, yet. Mm. I hear this song in my head, yet I really don't have any desire to get up and dance to it. But maybe something will change here once I hear it.
Can I get an encore? Do you want more? Cook and roll with the Brooklyn boys. So for one last time, I need y'all to roll. Yeah. Now what the hell are you waiting for? For me, there should be no more. So for one last time, make some noise. Get him, Jay. Who you know fresher than whole? Riddle me that. The rest of y'all know where I'm lurking, yeah. Can't none of y'all mirror me back. Yeah, hear me rap, it's like hand G rapping his prime. I'm young H.O., raps Grateful Dead. Back to take over the globe and I break bread. I'm in Boeing jets, slow.
I've had Tylenol, Pepto, soups, juices, teas, waters.
Grand opening, grand closing. Grab your manhole, crack the can open again. Who you gonna find over the head with no pen? Just draw inspiration. Who you gonna see you can't replace him with cheap imitations of these generations? Hardcore, do you want more? Cook and roll with the Brooklyn boys.
I'm more believing that I've got some type of ulcer type issue or something. I don't know. Welcome back, Marcus. The things that I've found work the most are a can of coffee and oil on top of my tummy mark, but it's hard to come by at the moment. Oh, you're paying. It hurts right at the top of my abdominal cavity, where my scar starts. See, didn't make me want to do nothing there. Let's see what happens here. Maybe this will do it. Interesting. Stack my money. I really think that it could just be winter inflammation. And it's just right in that spot where I've got like a stoma or something. The scar tissue is closed off so much. It could be anything. Oh, that hurt. Is it just me, or does it just seem like the lighting in the room changes and I didn't do anything? On the spaceship. Have you ever seen a snake going ape shit? I think I'm gonna get out of here. Go lay down on my fluffy things and pray for a different tomorrow. How about you? What are you going to get into today? Tonight? I'm pretty sure I won't be back anywhere. Cause there really just ain't an interest right now. Oh, Mark, it ain't. Who isn't? Who isn't? Like I said, the person who owes me money is in Georgia. He owes me 2 years if I gave too much of a fuck. I'm sorry. Tweet. Apologies. So yeah, I'm not that upset. Yeah, no, Mark. Jay-Z and Linkin Park didn't do it for me. Neither did B and whatever his name. Look, I was gonna say B and Beyonce. See what I mean? Which is a clear sign that I just need to. Ugh. Ow. Lay it down. So I'm gonna play that one, and I'm gonna get up out of here. Oh, cause I'm nauseous too. Ow.
Doing this shit once again for you fake ass niggas. Lay the fuck down, bitch. Lay down, lay down. You hold it down, lay down, lay down. You hold it down. Got his head tilted back and on his face is a frown. Who that nigga that is nervous, so don't you clown the sound and style of swisher after swisher. Oh, how I wish you was so I could hit you with wicked shit. Slick and swift as I slaughter quick. I ought to flip what's fluid to show you how we be doing in the swab.
Peace, y'all.